move on to our supporting your studies section, which is, and I'm joined by Sylvia, our Senior Student Services Officer, and our guardianship partner, Emma from Godsil Education. Welcome everyone. Emma, you're just on mute if you want to get. So how we'll run this session is I'll put some questions to you. Again, for anyone in the session, please put any questions in the chat function, and I'll ask Sylvia or Emma as required. We will also be joined a bit later in the session by Uninest, who will do a short presentation on the accommodation options as well. Okay.
Great.
So
Perfect.
I might start with you, Sylvia. Can you tell us a little bit about what student services actually involves?
Good day, everyone. I am a little bit nervous about this one because my internet connection started flaring up. So can you just let me know if you can hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I genuinely don't know. So you can hear me okay, can you?
Perfectly.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's great. That's great. You know the way don't know yourself is if it's you or is it the other end of the line. So hello everyone. My name is Sylwia Kucińska and I'm a Senior Student Services Officer at DIFC. And I'm looking forward to welcoming new students who are watching us, and I'm enjoying opportunity to say hello to my colleagues now. Student Services Department at DIFC is here to offer support to all the students on everything that's non-academic, just to kind of capture it. We really here, and the beauty of DIFC is we're a relatively small college, so we really get to know our students, as people to people. And most of us do have experience of traveling ourselves or traveling abroad, and we can very much relate to the experience of joining the studies abroad. So our care and our role is to support students in everything that surrounds the academic purpose of the studies. So we would be helping with any administration arrangements, which might be, extending your visa, opening your bank accounts, having accommodation, which is very important. It's really important that the place where you live is comfortable and it's a good environment for you to be in. And really realistically, any paperwork you can think of that you might need in a foreign country. But my favorite part of the role that we have in the Student Services Department is to do the welfare support and to do the well-being support as well to our students. So we pride ourselves on creating the community where there's a lot of kindness and compassion and respect. And what I really like about the IFC is that we put a lot of work and we have a lot of fun doing the work in becoming a community. So Student Support Department is also all about making sure that you don't feel alone during your studies, that you do get the peer support and you get to know your classmates. We organize the social activities, and this time it's more than ever important to put the work into getting to know people you're sharing the journey with. So this is what we do in Student Services Department. We make sure that we all get to connect as much as we can, and we create a community in the college, and also we make sure that every other aspect of the support during your studies, would it be your accommodation, visa extension, opening bank account, dealing with the medical problems, that all of that, you feel supported through the journey that life might throw at you while studying and trying to keep up with your academic goals. And I welcome any questions you might have. You can be as specific as you want, and I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. That was a good overview. Looking more specifically at the social activities, that is, a large part of the social experience and the whole study abroad experience. What kind of social activities do the students participate in?
So this is extremely important part, you know, for our students to connect with their peers and to build a peer support. And we, in the recent months, obviously, we learned that there is two ways of connecting with other people, because for the part of the program that happens online, we needed to come up with something that would be as interactive as possible. For us, it's not about watching the movie together, although we do that too, but we, in the part of the studies that's delivered online, we would be doing things like this sing-along, you know, or bake-offs. We would be having a lot of coffee catch-ups when we just meet up in front of the screens and we learn the well-being and welfare tools, and we just have a coffee morning together and share funny stories and just ease up into the week and get to know each other. But we're really mindful that the even online activities are very interactive. So, you know, one of the most successful ones we had last year were the cook along that we did together. And then we just, you know, enjoyed it or laughed at our creations. But again, the beauty of the DIFC being relatively small community, you know, it gives us the opportunity to have that level of connection and community, even though we do it online. And then obviously for the students, when they arrive in Ireland, the whole different scope opens when we go ice skating together and try the ice skating for the first time, or we go and we try to do a bushcraft, which is surviving in the forest and lighting the fire. So again, it's all about really connecting with each other and having fun together. And it's very, very important to us. We build friendships at the DIFC. And the social activities are a huge aspect of that.
Yeah, I remember that bushcraft activity. I've been on that one a couple of times myself, and it is brilliant. And a way to kind of get outside of the college space and back with nature, and, you know, friendships are formed doing that when you're pushed a little bit outside your comfort zone as well.
Yeah.
I might pass over to Emma. We have a number of students who would be 17 years old when they're first arriving in Ireland, and a common question we get is, why do they need a guardian when they're in Ireland?
Well, thank you very much, Nerily, for that little intro. Hi to everybody listening. My name's Emma Godsil, and I am Director of Godsil Education, who are the exclusive partners for guardianship with DIFC for some years now. Why do you need a guardian in Ireland? It's a very good question. We fulfill two really important functions for students under 18 pursuing their studies here in Ireland. The first function is that by law you're required to present to immigration registration within 90 days of arrival. So this is our primary function and support to you guys. We prepare all your documentation for this important meeting, and we accompany you to the meeting here in Dublin and present as your guardian. So we lead you through the whole process, and the outcome or the purpose of that appointment is to obtain what's called an Irish Residence Permit card. So while you apply for a visa to get here and to study in the country, the IRP card, your Irish Residence Permit card, allows you to remain in the country and to move freely in and out of Ireland. So you can go home, come back, go home, come back, and all on your IRP card. So it's really important, this particular documentation, and it's compulsory, a legal requirement by all international students, non-EU, attending school and universities here. It's notoriously tricky to get an appointment with the GNIB, and so we apply for those appointments on your behalf, and we'll get one and communicate that date and time with you as soon as we get it. And as I said, prepare all the documents and accompany you to the meeting. So that's our first and very important role. We also fulfill another important role, which is we are here for you in the case of any emergencies. Now, I know you're all very capable, mature, independent young adults, but in the eyes of the law here, you're still considered a minor. And so if you need anything in terms of any medical emergencies or otherwise with the police, for example, if you need us for anything like that, we will step in and ask and act as your guardian. So we provide to all students a 24/7 emergency phone line. So we're available to you all the time, the whole time you're here. You just call this number and we will be with you if we need to be with you physically, or we'll be able to provide you with phone support if that's what's required. And so really we act as an external buddy or a friend, an extra person here, or an extra people here, I should say. And give you and your families peace of mind that if you can't contact the university, if you're in a bind, you can contact us 24/7. We're located not too far from DIFC, and we can be with you in a matter of half an hour if needs be. So that's really nice to know.
Sorry, Obadiah, can you mute your microphone, please? Sorry, Emma.
That's okay.
Sorry, Emma. I have texted him, but I'll try ringing him now.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry,
no problems. No
keep
problems.
going.
So immigration registration is number 1. 2, we're here in emergencies. 3, just like you would be able to help me if I was in your city, you can reach out to us for any friendly or local advice that you might need. We're all teachers here too at Godsil Education, so we have lots of experience of the Irish education system, and we're used to supporting young people just like you who are in a different environment. We have guidance counsellors, psychologists, teachers, people to help you with statements. We can link you up with mental health services. We have a team of drivers to assist you with airport transfers. We've lots of supports here and are used to supporting students attending high school and university here up and down the country. So there's nothing that we haven't helped students with so far. So please feel free to contact us at any stage. Once you arrive, I'll be in touch personally to say hello and explain our role again to you and to touch base and welcome you to the country. And then you can contact me throughout the course of your studies. Though we'll be in touch anyway with you, but you can always reach out to us at any stage.
Perfect. Thank
you. So
you.
there are our 3 main roles, okay, Nerily? Hopefully that's clear. And if anybody's got any questions, please pop them in the chat box.
Yeah, do. We'll hold on to Emma for a few more minutes in case anyone has any questions. Sylvia, from the DIFC side, what kind of support do you offer for our minor students that would be under the Godsil guardianship?
Sorry, the line broke a little bit. Did you ask me from DIFC what kind of support the minors get in addition to, yeah. So I got this one right, okay. So we obviously care for all our students. So I just want to reassure all the over 18s as well that, you know, you get the support you need as well. From DIFC point of view, when it comes to students who are under 18, we put a little bit more, I don't want to say supervision, that's not the word, but maybe a little bit more attention and encouragement when it comes to coming forward. So we will have the additional meetings at DIFC for the students who are underage, which is, you know, the check-in meetings. And we will, part of our role in student services is to liaise with Godsil and make sure that we're on the same platform when it comes to minors. And also to liaise with the accommodation to make sure that, you know, everything is working fine there and working okay. And there's not really much differentiation in terms of supervision was the wrong word. So in terms of supervision, we do approach all the students with respect, and even if you're a minor, you won't be standing out in the group, but we will be maybe approaching you more often for the chats and checking with you and making sure that you're okay. And if there's any support needed, we will be helping you to reach out, and we will be helping you to speak to people you need to communicate with. And it's just probably maybe a little bit more guidance. But as I said, if you are over 18, you know, the door is always open or the camera is always on, you know, depending which way we work. So we won't be leaving anyone behind, really.
Thanks, Sylvia. We haven't had any questions come through, Emma, so you know, I'll let you go. I won't hold up your day, and thank you very much for doing that presentation. And you know, we have worked with you for a number of years now, and the service is very good, so we have no qualms in you know, referring students over to Godsil's for
that's great.
Thank
well,
you.
I look forward to meeting all the students under our guardianship when they arrive in January. And in the meantime, everybody take care, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Emma.
Thanks, Emma.
Thanks a million. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you.
Just a couple of questions more, Sylvia, for you before we have Emmett from Uninest join us. What happens if a student gets sick while they're in Ireland? You know, what, I know Emma kind of touched on it more from a minor perspective, but for any students, you know, how do they get to a doctor? What kind of happens?
Yeah, so students do get sick when studying in Ireland, as we all do. We, again, you know, we just want to make sure that you understand that you're not by yourself, and we don't expect you to feel unwell and Google things. You know, you're always welcome to approach Student Services Department and say, I'm not feeling well. We having a quick chat and we're deciding on how serious it is. So is it, when you say sick, you know, that could be problems with your tummy, or that could be really something that requires immediate attention. So if there's a need for you to see to get into hospital, we, regardless of, you know, your age, we will be making sure that, you know, the ambulance is on its way, obviously, and or that you're on the way to hospital. But if it's a little bit less serious, in Ireland, we don't just walk into the hospitals, because hospitals will treat patients prioritizing them according to how serious the condition is. So we, in Ireland, we go to see the doctor. They're called GP, general practitioners, and you are free to choose your GP, but if you wish to have college helping you with that, there is a lovely general practitioner's office that our students were very happy with. So we will be putting you in touch straight away with one of the doctors, and you go to see the doctor and get the best medical advice. And the doctor might choose to send you to hospital if they decide that that's appropriate, or they might decide on the course of treatment for you. The medical insurance that you get through the college policy will cover any expense over €100 when it comes to your treatment. So once you see the doctor and you get the treatment, again, Student Services Department is here to help you make the claim and follow the paperwork. I know that that can be overwhelming when you go abroad and you just don't know how things work. And going back to the fact that we're such a lovely environment where, you know, we have enough facilities and enough resources to give students individual attention, we can actually sit down with you and talk you through the claim process and what needs to happen next. But that's the administration side of you getting sick and getting better. But we also make sure, and you know, we have such a lovely team of teachers here, that if you do get sick, again, there is people to reach out to, and there is people, the program managers can work with you on your catch-up plan if you end up missing some days of school. So I am really passionate about my job because I feel that we provide a good care to our students. So yes, you might get sick, we all get sick, but if you do get sick, you're not on your own trying to get help and trying to find a way out of it. You will have a team of people trying to help you through it and get better.
Great. I'd like to give a very warm welcome to Emmett from Uninest. Uninest is one of our accommodation partners and is definitely a favourite amongst our students for the last number of years. Welcome, Emmett. Hi, how are you going? I thought, I know you have a short presentation, so maybe if you wanted to do your presentation first, and I can make you a co-presenter. I don't know, do you have slides?
Yeah, I have slides here.
Perfect. And then while the presentation's on, if anyone has any questions, pop them into the chat and I can put them to Emmett at the end of his presentation. Thanks, Mel.
Let's see if I can get this working. Now, can everybody see that? Or suppose you can see it. No? Oh, maybe if I hit share.
Oh, hold on, here it goes.
Yeah, can you see that?
Perfect.
Perfect. So, hi everybody. So, my name is Emmett. I am the Assistant Residence Manager for Uninest Student Residences at Newmill on the Tannery, which is located very close to the college. And we've worked at DIFC for a couple of years now, because obviously in terms of getting to college, it's very easy, and because it's only down the road. So just some background on, I suppose, Newmill and the Tannery. So Newmill opened in September 2017, and the Tannery opened in 2018. So we operate two buildings there just in the Liberties. And whether you are a resident at Newmill or the Tannery, you have access to both buildings, which includes access to the facilities that are in both buildings. Some of the facilities that we have include gyms, study rooms, common spaces, laundry rooms. We have a VR room and tannery. So there's a variety of different spaces that you can use across the two buildings. And as I said, if you live in Newmill or Tannery, you have access to both. Obviously, when it comes to staying in student accommodation, there is a couple of things to be considerate of. So obviously in terms, especially in this day and age, it's keeping your apartment clean. So it's working with your housemates to come up with a roster or a plan for getting everything clean. If there's something broken, we have a team of facilities assistants that are on hand 24 hours a day to assist in getting everything fixed quickly and cheerfully. You can let us know by popping to reception, or we'll have our online reception or our online maintenance reporting form. The biggest thing that we kind of promote for staying with us at Uninest in Newmill or the Tannery is the student well-being, because when you book a room to stay with us, you're not just booking a room, you're becoming part of our Uninest community. So we do a variety of different events to get kind of everybody to know each other. Obviously, given the current pandemic, obviously our events have changed a little bit. But some of the events we did in the past was we had a petting zoo, we have pizza parties, table quizzes, silent disco, Halloween fancy dress, Easter egg hunt, breakfast grab and go, and yoga classes. So we do that to kind of promote a sense of community within the buildings, because we have students from all different parts of the world studying in all different colleges, so it's a chance to get to know people on a different level. Obviously, given the current pandemic, we have had to obviously input some new COVID-19 policies just to ensure the safety of both our residents and our staff. So one of the things that we do is we offer 2 weeks free if you have to self-isolate from traveling from abroad. And this is up as far as the 31st of December. So if you arrive before that time, or if you arrive on the 31st of December, you will get 2 weeks free of charge while you self-isolate. Now, obviously, in terms of self-isolation, that does mean remaining in your apartment and not going outside. Obviously, with that, it does mean that you can't use any of the gyms or common rooms during this time. But during your self-isolation period, we are there to help in any way that we can. So if you order food online or if you order groceries, it will get delivered to the reception and we will drop it up to outside of your room for you. And when it comes to getting rid of any rubbish or any trash, we will come up into the apartment and we'll take that away for you to allow you to not have to leave the apartment. For students in self-isolation, we are also doing welfare checks every 2 days. Just a quick chat via Zoom to chat to the staff, just to make sure everything's all right and see if there's anything else that we can do to assist you. So some of the other policies and procedures that we have in place just to ensure everyone's safety. So all of our high touch points, so elevator doors, door handles, etc., are cleaned and sanitized every 2 hours, especially with our high traffic areas. Face coverings or masks are required in all common spaces. And they're required if you have to come down to reception for collecting posts or anything like that. The common areas are cleaned and sanitized before and after each use, and the same goes for our gym. So obviously, given that Ireland is currently in a level 5 lockdown, we have kept our gyms open because it's for individual training only. So only one person can use it at a time. And we have a schedule in place that we ensure that it's sanitized and cleaned before someone uses it, and there's time for it to be clean and sanitized after somebody is finished with it. As I said, well-being is one of the big things that we promote, and obviously with everything kind of moving online, we've had to adapt what we do, but obviously continuing to promote that sense of community is important to us. So what we've done is some events that we're doing here. We're having a Netflix party, virtual bingo, virtual quizzes, virtual yoga classes, and I said welfare catch-up for anyone in isolation. Obviously isolation, especially for 2 weeks, can be obviously a difficult time for a lot of people, which is why we're here to support in any way that we can. To help you get settled into staying with us and arriving in Ireland. Communication obviously is a big, huge part of what we do in terms of letting everybody know of new restrictions or any new rules. And the main point we communicate with people is via email. So if you create a booking with us and confirm it, we have your email address. So that is how we would primarily contact you. We also have a WhatsApp group for New Mill and a WhatsApp group for Tannery, just to ensure that we can contact people at all times. If at that point there is any apartment that is isolating or anything like that, we set up individual apartment WhatsApp groups so we can stay in touch, assist in any way we can, find out if you're getting a test or if you've gotten results, just so everyone knows what the situation is within the apartment. And that's pretty much me. Any questions?
Okay, thanks for that, Emmett. That was really informative. We do have one question. You sort of touched on it, but I'll expand on it. A student is asking about the use of in-house facilities during the 14-day self-isolation.
Yes.
Now, I know obviously the gyms and common areas, but what about facilities like laundries and that sort of thing? Is it possible for those sorts of facilities?
So in terms of laundry and stuff, obviously laundry is different because it's clothes and it's washing. So if you do require to use the laundry, we will assist you if you can. We will bring it down and put it into the washing machine for you, or we will ensure that if you have to go down, that nobody is there, and we'll sanitize afterwards. Other than that, we do have cleaning products on site that we will give to students if they want to do any hand washing or anything like that within the apartment. And we've also just confirmed a partnership with a company called laundry.ie to collect. What is it? They come and collect your laundry. They bring it off, wash it and dry it and fold it and drop it back to you for a fee. So we've set up a partnership with them, which also has a student discount. I'm just waiting for some communication in terms of
Amazing.
to students for that one.
That sounds great. So just if anyone wants to put in, there's a question. Can a 17-year-old live in New Mill or the Tannery?
Yes, absolutely. We do take 17-year-old students. For 17-year-old students, we would require that if you're paying in full. So the way the payment works is that you can pay in full upfront, or you can pay in installments. If you're paying in installments, you would need a guarantor to guarantor the payments. This would need to be someone that lives in Ireland. If you don't have someone that lives in Ireland, we have a service with a company called Housing Hand that you can set up with them, and you can then pay in the installments. But we ask that if you are going to be 17 and you're paying in full payment, that we have the contact for a parent or a guardian just in the event of an emergency. Obviously, we do work directly with DIFC in terms of with students, so there's the link there, but just that there is a point of contact with a parent or guardian just in the event of an emergency.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I'll give a few more minutes just for anyone to ask any more questions for Emmett, but while we're waiting, I might just put a question to you, Sylvia, if that's okay. What do students do, and Emmett touched on this, the wellbeing side, and you've mentioned it before. The student, it's a big change, moving to Ireland, living away from your family. some students can struggle to cope with this transition, and if a student finds themselves in that position where they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed about their studies and living away, or what can they do in that situation?
Yeah, it's a massive change. We have a lot of respect for students who choose to go through that journey, and we're very mindful and very aware that, you know, it's all exciting sometimes before you make this choice, when you're making this choice, and you tend to see sometimes one side of the story, and then you move and you suddenly go, it's actually a little bit different, and maybe even a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But that's all part of the personal growth, we think, and we know it's part of life as well. You make the choice and you kind of go, oh, it's different than what I was expecting it to be. But again, we are so mindful of that being the emotions, you know, coming and going, emotions like that coming and going, being part of this journey. And we are very serious about the supports in place for students who do find the experience challenging and overwhelming. We have a lot of respect for students who speak up about it. So we always say during our induction, when we meet students, saying, look, if you feel that, tell us, because there'll be no judgment about it. Because we all have situations in life when we feel this is tougher than I thought it was going to be. And we make sure that we put a little bit of the workshop, we call it a mental gym, into our own supports within the DIFC. So we will be having a sessions with the students on learning the coping tools and the coping mechanisms. And then, you know, we do them as the fun exercises when we don't need them, but then they sometimes tend to come handy if needed. If situation gets a little bit more serious, then we do work with some professional resources. We would put students in contact with the professional counselors if needed. We work with the suicide prevention team if things get really serious. We work with various mental health support organizations. So if our students feel and that extra support is needed, we do have resources in place, and we know where to point the students, but also ourselves out, you know, if that was to be the case. So I suppose the message is, if things get tough, you're not on your own. I mean, there will be people who will take it very seriously, and we will work with you and we'll find the best way through it. And the beauty of that is, you know, with enough kindness and support, we do all tend to make it to the other side and get back on track and, you know, enjoy the experience again. Does that answer the question? Or would I could be as specific as you want me to. I can take a day now talking about it, but but what I'm saying is, really, you know, some people have, you know, just they don't find it challenging, and that's okay too. Some people just find it, you know, they go, that was a year of fun. But then, you know, some people come to us and say, no, it is tough and I am struggling, and that's okay too. We know we know how to approach it, and how to with respect and kindness get through it. That's one thing about DIFC as well, that there's this culture of kindness where, you know, we take each other seriously and respectfully, but, you know, kindness is a big part of how we do things here.
Absolutely. And I think the most important thing, if any student finds themselves in that situation, is really just to speak up and, you know, talk to Sylvia, talk to your program manager or a trusted teacher, and, you know, we can then start helping and helping you address any problems that you might be having, whether it's academic, whether it's personal, whether it's something, you know.
Absolutely. And there's, you know, there's respect. And there's respect, and we do understand the word confidentiality very well as well. So there's a lot of respect around, you know, the challenges. So we are here to listen, and we know where to take the situation to help you through it and make it better. And And as I said, most of the students enjoy the experience and might not find it challenging, but again, life happens and, throws things at us. But I think it's reassuring to know that you're in a good hands, and we won't try to fix your problems. We will put you in touch with professionals if that was to be needed as well. And I think that's really reassuring that we have a lot of experience working with the right people to make best out of terrible situations sometimes.
Okay, that's great. Emmett, we haven't had any further questions, so we won't hold you up any longer. Thank you very much for joining our session and telling us a little bit more about Uninest.
No problem. What I'll do
Can
is
I just
Sorry.
can I just take
go on ahead, Sylvia.
Can I just take? Sorry.
There's a slight lag.
I'm sorry. I'm just keeping an eye on the chat, but also I wanted to say that really it's a compliment to the new meal and to yourself, Emmett. Over the last few months, when obviously the situation changed so drastically, we've had nothing but really positive experience working with New Meal. And when coronavirus came to Ireland, I think it's important to bear in mind that we do live in a little bit uncertain times at the moment. And one of the reasons we work with New Meal so closely, and that student services at DIFC are so keen on working with New Meal, is the response that you had in uncertain times was just everything that the student could have wished for. When the situation in March surprised us, suddenly it became so clear that New Meal was the safest place to be in for our students, because there was a lot of support in terms of self-isolation. We actually did have a student diagnosed with COVID in March who ended up being taken in hospital in the middle of the night. That was a student who was accommodated by New Meal at the time. So we've watched the first hand, the isolation process, and how the support that was put in place for that student from the accommodation point of view. And that's where we as a student services department at the DIFC have no hesitation recommending that accommodation to students, because we've exercised terrible situation already, and hopefully we'll have never to do it again. But at the same time, it's really, really important to know that we have the plan in case things were going to go worse. Like if it was my own daughter to travel to a different country, and accommodation was to be one of the aspects to be looked after, I would want to be really, really sure that, hopefully she will just enjoy the gym and the cinema room, and we will never have to look into what if situations. But at the same time, it would have been really reassuring for me as a mother to know that, okay, if the what if happens, then I know that she is in a place that already, the people there know what to do. So I just want to take this opportunity maybe to say thank you for being such a great support through the tough time over the last few months.
That's no problem at all. Obviously, as you said, it did kind of hit us out of nowhere. So, we adapted as quickly as possible. And obviously our main focus is always the welfare and the well-being of our residents. So ensuring that we had processes in place, and when it came to isolation or if someone has got a hospital, that we were there to assist in the best way that we could. As we kind of went through the troubling times. And then obviously as I think closer to September, and it was still a level of uncertainty, where students coming back, were they not. I suppose everything is still a bit of uncertainty for January as well. But it's about knowing that if you come to stay with us, that it's not just you arrive at your room and you're stuck there, that there's support, and that we will do the isolation welfare checks, we'll assist in whatever way we can to ensure that as you try to settle into the Dublin and Ireland and the newly changed, that there is support there, as you also try to balance for the fact that we are pandemic and readjusting to that. And what I'll do is, I'll send on to you the contact details for Newmill and the contact details for Tannery. So if you're sending this presentation to everybody or whatever, that the details are there if they want to call or drop us an email with any questions.
Amazing, that'd be great, thanks. And I will be sending out the recordings to everyone next week. So thank you very much, Emmett. Thanks for your time.
No problem at all.
See you later.
See you, bye.
We might just finish with you, Sylvia, just with one last question that we've put to every one of our panel members today to catch you on the hop. And that is, what is your top tip to students that are considering joining DIFC this January?
Yeah. Once you make your decision, try to choose not to be afraid, I would say. It's, try to focus on the positive side of it. And I know it's coming from somebody who already has the trust in organization, so it's easier for me to say it than maybe for people to hear it. But try to be positive about the good stuff that's going to happen. And we will be promoting the kindness so much that if you're naturally shy and, speaking up and talking to other people is outside your comfort zone, maybe try to step out of that comfort zone and do talk to other people and connect and make your friends and, make the best of it and make your journey with the DIFC the best experience. Don't be slow to warm up to, becoming part of the family, I would say. Just, if that requires you to push yourself a little bit, try not to be afraid to do so and try to connect and talk to us and talk to each other. That, because this way you will get the most out of the experience. I mean, I obviously differ from the academic experience. I always say to students, I have the best job in the college. I don't need to teach you anything. So, obviously everybody has the academic goals coming to us, and that's very important. But try not to forget the rest. Try not to forget the beauty of the journey, which is, connecting with other people, making international friends, and making friends and connecting with other people. Try not to be afraid, really, is the tip I would say.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think, you see it, and even I see it when the students first enter the college, they can be quite reserved and unsure of things. And it's important to remember that every single one of your classmates is going through the same thing. It's new to them. And to see the transformation of students at the other end, you see these confident, vibrant students that with the close friendships they've formed throughout the program. It's really refreshing to see and nice to see them head off to university with that found confidence.
Yeah, I think Sylvia remarks on that every year, how students come into us and they look like, a frightened little caterpillar, but by the end of the program, they're a complete butterfly.
Yeah.
They mightn't say 2 words in the beginning, but then they're up presenting in front of their classmates and their peers, and they're now ready to take that journey into university.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We might leave this session here. Thank you very much, Sylvia, for your time. It's a very important part of what DIFC offer is the student services and the well-being and the support services that are available. And Sylvia has been managing that side of things in the college for a very long time now, and really is there for all the students and parents if they need as your point of contact and for the extra support. Thanks, Sylvia.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot.
I think no problem. Pleasure.